Oh man, I'm ready to sit there, dude. Yeah. This big boy, I snuck behind him. They start pulling you up. Yeah, Ricky. I love it. I said that Jim and Rachel closed their review this one put us on the news before there'll be cameras in here for this one. I'm over there next to Dusty, make it look better.
Anybody else want to sign up and comment? Well, I guess I'll sign up. Sorry about your participation.
They're worried about our budget as well.
All right, everybody. All right, everybody, nobody quiet down. Lisa, let's start the meeting. All right, it's 5 o'clock. We're going to call the solid waste meeting order. Roll call vote, please.
Wally McNair.
Here.
Danny Clark. Matthew Barnhill.
Here.
Steve Tanaka.
Here.
Dusty Jordan.
Here.
Devin Pickard.
Here.
Ricky Murray.
Here.
Becky Bates. Here. All present.
Thank you. Now I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
What was the motion?
Steve Janaki, second. Okay, now we begin the public comment period.
You want to vote on the agenda first?
Yeah, can I get a vote on the agenda? All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, so the way this works is everybody signed up. You get 2 minutes to say what you want to say about what's on the agenda tonight. What we'll do is ask you to come up, because you'll be speaking to the Public Safety Committee. There won't be questions answered. They'll listen to what you have to say. You can't ask the questions. They can't respond. It's just for you to say anything you want to say that's on the agenda tonight. So I'll call you up again. I'll try to give you a reminder, like, you know, when you got 10 seconds left to try to wrap it up, because we have 1 hour to conduct this meeting. The next meeting is public safety. It starts at 6. And we got a lot on the agenda, so we want to get everybody's comments that we have here so we can get the agenda. The first one up is Joey Hunt. Come on, if you would, please, address the committee.
That is us. Our property is directly behind the proposed dump, the regional dump. That's going to bring in pollution in the form of air, water, soil, noise, traffic. We do not want it. We do not need it. I do not want that at my back door. I do not want that flowing through our land. This is where this is going is about a mile as a crow flies from the Duck River and the convergence of the Duck and the Piney. This is gorgeous, gorgeous land, and this cannot happen there. It cannot happen there. That's all I have to say.
Ma'am, I didn't get your name.
Joy Hunt.
Joy Hunt. All right, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, next we have Ira. Ira Weatherspoon, please.
Yeah, my name's Ira Witherspoon. I've got a house that's 1 mile below where this is gonna go on Duck River. I was born and raised there. I know the land. Everything goes either to Piney River or Taylor's Creek, all the little tributaries. Anything drains there. I've been in dug wells. I know that there's layers of rock everywhere. That water's gonna travel. It's gonna go to the river. So it's gonna lower the value of land. So that's all I gotta say.
Thank you very much. Next, Danny Skelton.
Really, I've got more questions than I got to give a speech. My wife and I own the oldest family-owned farm in Hickman County. I've got 4 ground wells on the place. And we water our house, our livestock. We're right downstream from where this thing is proposed. If you ever went into the landfill at Camden, that's one of these super landfills, you would know that we don't want it in our county because you have to suit up to go in and check the water, the groundwater. I built a prototype that sits down in one of these wells so they could monitor this water remotely instead of having to go in and suit up and go, the water's so contaminated. We don't want this mess. And that's about all I can say. I don't know who decided to bring it in, but we don't need it. Thanks.
Next, Mike Morgan.
Yes, we raised our family by aqua, and we're building a new house down not far from where this is at. And this is not what we wanted, and it's not what everybody else wants. So that's all I got to say.
Charlie Ingram.
How you guys doing?
Great, thank you.
Most of you, Marty might know who I am, but most of you don't know who I am. But I've traveled all over the world fishing. That's what I do for a living, do a TV show. And I've gone from Lake Ontario to Lake Mead to South Texas to South Florida, all over the world. The most pristine place I've ever been is Hickman County, Tennessee. I said this. And I don't deny that we don't need a landfill for Hickman County, because I think we probably do. But from a regional standpoint, I got one question I want to ask. Will the lithium battery plant be able to put their waste in this landfill that you're proposing? That's all I got.
Thank you. Andrew McDonald. Andrew McDonald.
Well, my comments will go along with the gentleman before. I've lived in a lot of different places, and Hickman County is an absolutely gorgeous place, and to have a landfill in this spot, next to that, we fish the piney, we fish the duck. It's the most gorgeous place I've ever seen. Please don't let that happen. Thank you.
West?
My previous questions haven't been answered, but, I guess my question now is, the roads won't carry that traffic. Are the taxpayers gonna have to foot the bill for that? Along with, the pollution going into the Piney and the Duck. Given the topography of the land, it all drains that way or it floods. So, that's all I got.
Last one I have is Mike Goodpasture.
Thank you for the opportunity. All I have to say is I've been all over this property years and years ago when Willamette owned it and hunted it. And I just think it's a poor place. You've got Piney and all the tributaries that empty into it on one side. You've got Taylor's Creek on the other side and all the tributaries empty into. Both of those, both Piney and Taylor's Creek go in Duck River. So you're surrounded on three sides by major tributaries. I just think it's a poor place. One ridge right down the middle, hollers going off both sides. All of it goes to the river. I think we could find a whole lot better place than here. Thank you.
Right now, I need a motion to approve the minutes of last meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
The Janakis approved by, seconded by Matthew Barnhill. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, turn it over to Jordan for your monthly reports.
These are the monthly reports. The first one is our tonnage reports. It's kind of run-of-the-mill, normal tonnages for this month. And we have our finance report, short statement of expenditures. We're running out of money on a few budget lines, like equipment maintenance and lubricants. But we've used about 61% of our total budget. The next statement would be for.
Anybody got questions on this, any of these expenditures that you see? All right, go ahead.
All right, the next one you'd have would be the statement of revenues. And since this meeting's on the 1st and the trustee's office is tied up today, it doesn't show last month's revenues. So it doesn't show this month's revenues on there. So we might have a discussion at some point about doing the meeting on a different day of the second Monday. So the first.
Second Monday, we have budget. And finance.
And that evening, after budget, there's another meeting in there, for the zoning.
Zoning. Something everyone needs to think about and we can look at.
Yeah, next month it won't matter because it'll be on the 5th, but when it's on the 1st, it's tough to get all these reports in on time.
Right.
You got the trustees report. This is from last week because they're closed this morning. So that doesn't show it doesn't show all of our revenue from last month, but it shows a good chunk of it. You got the Perry County landfill report next, or Perry County deal report next, and this month we profited $3,526, transferring it using our transfer station to Hollister Chamber.
Declare, what are we hauling to Kansas?
Perry County's class 1.
So haul over to Class 1?
Yeah.
Perry County?
Yeah. Now, on my director report, there's no holidays in April that we're gonna take off for. Next item is, proposed East Center. Mac sent a bid out, or Daryl James sent us a, value engineered bid from Mac this afternoon, and it's attached in here. It's not here.
So I was telling Jordan about our proposals. As we know, we didn't get it, last month. They've been waiting on it, and then the bid expired yesterday. And he was told about lunch today that he would get in about 4 or 5 o'clock today. I'd say they just come up a little too late for what we got on the agenda to be trying to discuss. So I'd say everybody take it, review it, decide what we want to do at the next meeting. Any objections to that? All right, that's what we'll do.
Amnesty, penalty amnesty period started today. We received $4,700 worth of old money today, so.
We have about 800,000 left to go, right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Hey, it's the first day, right?
Yeah, first day. The next item is equipment condition. Equipment, maintenance, and lubricant budget lines are pretty much completed. I'll have probably some budget amendments to do this month for that. All right.
Does the cardboard truck back or no?
Yeah, we got the cardboard truck back, yep. Yep, that was a big deal. We've got a budget in here. Draft budget. For 2024, 2025.
So we asked Jordan to bring a draft of his proposed budget to come submit next month. And anybody got any questions they see right off, or take it home and review it? And see any questions?
Since lubricants is already running high, should that be considered going into next year?
Yes.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Lubricants is already running high on this year's budget?
Yep. There should be an increase.
What line is that?
There is, you listed it. I had to just find
Which
it.
line?
433.
Yeah, 433, so, yeah, I increased it. And that's hydraulic oil, what that is.
What's 799, what's the big difference there? Especially with the amended estimate, that's the other capital outlay and reserve.
That is the reserve that we calculate every year. We used a lot of that on grants, so it won't be as large.
Okay.
And the payroll raise is 5%.
Is that what the state's giving this year? Do we know, Mayor?
Yeah, I think they gave 6. All the department heads, such as Casey and I, all the elected officials got together and decided we would ask for 5% across the board for all employees, with the exception of the sheriff. Animal services, 5%.
question for budget time, but we need to take a look at cutting somewhere else then.
So we're gonna take it home and review it, and then, okay.
We made it again before.
No. We'll meet the schedule for budget.
I think we meet on the ninth is our first meeting, but the 13th is when the department presents, so as long as you meet before then.
The sixth.
Yeah, we'll have another meeting on budget before you come up on budget.
All right, next, issue is the annual progress report that we need to submit to, TDEC. Mr. Becker, do you want to explain what the APR is?
I work for South Central Tennessee Development District, so I am technical assistant for solid waste. Solid waste works under Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation, and they require solid waste districts to report every year annually what their recycling percentage is, what amount they take as far as tonnage to landfills, and pretty much all of their information as far as like Jordan is a new employee, new employees, new equipment, and all those kinds of things they report to the state. So this is just the annual thing they have to do for that.
So do we have to vote on it?
You have to have board approval and mayor approval.
Okay.
So make a motion to approve.
You got a motion to approve from Steve Marcus. You got a second from, Dusty. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Roll call vote. Wally McNair.
Yes.
Danny Clark.
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill. Steve Janakis.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Becky Bates.
Yes.
8 in favor, none opposed.
It's approval, thank you. Jackson Baldwin.
Here, make a motion for the, financial.
Oh, I'm sorry. We need to make a motion to approve all the finances.
I'll motion.
Got a motion, you got a second? Second from, Danny Clark.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Yes.
Wally McNair.
Yes.
Danny Clark.
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
Steve Janakis.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Becky Bates.
Yes.
8 yes, 0 no. Motion carried.
All right, and the last thing on my report is I just attached a copy of the Jackson Law, which Hickman County adopted. This law, since we adopted this law, means that local approval is required before the state will consider reviewing a landfill permit application. And this is separate from zoning, just for your information.
Any questions on this?
So just information.
This be required if we're able to acquire that next to our landfill.
Yeah, for any landfill to get a permit, y'all have to have a vote on it.
Right, but what we were trying to get for a couple of years, after 50 some odd acres. You know.
Yeah, even the county,
Okay.
if solid waste tried to want to do a new landfill, they'd have to go through the Jackson Law.
So under old business, that be, Dusty, we got any update or anything about the?
No, we are continuing to plow forward. Marty had a bunch of stuff that Jordan, I think, is, we get together before we get with either Blackburn or Green or even Haggerty. But probably with Congressman Green, his local chief staff or Tennessee chief staff was involved in it. Marshall Blackburn worked with us before. So Jordan and I gotta get together, make sure we've got our game plan and get them out there. Mark Green's office is already aware of it, and they're willing to do whatever they need to do to help.
Concerning the new business, first I'd like to accept a motion to suspend the rules and allow any county commissioner to come up and join us, be able to ask questions or listen to the proposal that's coming up. I got a motion from Picker, second from Mr. Murphy. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any county commissioners that are here, could you please come up with us so you can be part of this proposal that's coming up? Be able to get copies and ask any questions that may come up.
Appreciate it.
Any others here? Anybody else here? So just an introduction here. What we're doing is we invited some folks here that are gonna give a proposal tonight to speak to us. First I heard about this a week ago. So the proposal came up for a need that we have in the county. And I spoke to these guys about 10, 15 minutes. And the first thing I said is that let's come to the solid waste committee next Monday. So all the county commissioners can be here. We can brief them on what your proposal is. They can ask questions. It's open to the public, so the public can be here. I know too many times before, we've all down the road, and first we know about something, we see a sign on the bridge or something. Like, I want to do it different. I want everybody to know just as much tonight as what we know. So we can all be in this together. You all know just as much as anybody. We got this is streaming live right now on Facebook, Hickman County Court Facebook page. Anybody wants to, you tell them want to watch what's going on. So that's why we're here tonight. Is just want to be upfront. You know, everybody's on the same page. We all know what the issues are, what the proposals are, and we all go forward to Hickman County. You know, that's the way I kind of look at it. We're all in this together, so let's all see what the issues are and come up with solutions. So with that, we're not allowed, we can't take questions, sorry. No, I'm sorry, we can't take questions from the, that's why, so, excuse me?
This is all about, how we gonna find out.
Yeah, that's what we're about to do now.
I'll explain to them what you just said.
Okay, thanks. So right now I want to give the floor to Marty Tupperwell for about 5 minutes. He's, everybody don't know, he's a solid waste director for about 30 years, just retired in November. Jordan took over, he's also, when he's done it, he's got something to say, but he's going to kind of lay the background on this. It's kind of where we're at right now.
All right, well, where do I need to stand? Right here,
Yeah,
right?
where do you stand?
All right. As Wiley said, I've run the solid waste here in Hickman County for 19 plus years. I've got over 30 years of trash experience. We sold our business in Nashville in '82 to BFI, which is, at that point was the world's largest. But all the commissioners know that I've been pushing the issue about a landfill. Tennessee don't realize that in 2 years, Middle Point in Murfreesboro is going to be closing. There's 20 counties that get their trash carried to Murfreesboro, Middle Point. There's 9 counties that go to West Camden where our trash goes. And the airspace that's left in Middle Tennessee for household, this is all, we're talking about household residents. There won't be no commercial, no nothing like that. There's less than 6 years left in Middle Tennessee. We're not gonna have nowhere to carry out. Well, probably Shelby County would be the closest place to go, and our dumping fee would double to triple scaleway going across. And the budget as of right now, that's one reason why I retired, because, well, I was old enough and want to get back on the farm. But, you know, solid waste does not have the means and necessity to financially at $90. It's been that way for 28 years. And our trash has been going to Benton County for 28 years. And the landfill it goes to, there's not issues with water. They test it, because I've been out there numerous places. So in the past 3 or 4 years, I've been working with, and I put together what I thought was a dream team in Hickman County, what it would generate for Hickman County as far as revenue. What the county, like I said, just, and a lot of people say it, tributary runs out. If you can see anatomy of it, which the next public hearing will have anatomies of a landfill. It's got 7 different layers of liners, clay liners. There's nothing going to leave that facility. There's not a up-to-date landfill. You can laugh if you want to, but I mean, we got.
In 81.
Well, that's what I said. Act of 91 though is when they started putting the liners in. anyway, that, the revenue, it would eliminate the $90 because the hosting fee that Hickman County would get. It would eliminate the $90 a year that every resident has to pay, and that's, that they have an amnesty over $800,000 out in the rear. And that's anyway, y'all can, and it's gonna have to go up per residence on, I mean, just to keep landfill, so eliminate that, but also it would generate millions of dollars of revenue for county to keep, because the police department, sheriff's department, all of them don't have the funds, they train them. Huh? Well, ours has been going for 28 years to Benton County, so, I mean, it's, but anyway, it's, I'm not supposed to respond, but anyway, this is, like I said, it's an opportunity, everything, we just put this, I put this team together, which, like I said, Randy Drake over there, he has put in, I've known him for, I don't know how long, but, he's put in, many a landfill, and he runs landfill, he runs bi-county landfill, he, and Dale Smith is, he owns a company that, also, like I said, I put together people I know and trust, and it's gonna be all done. And then Jason Rafter is an engineer that worked for TDEC on the state engineering. And like I said, you can go back and ask Steve Gregory when he was mayor. Sean was all about if he got reelected. And me and Jim have talked over the past quite a bit, and he said, you know, we gotta find something to generate some revenue. And I mean, this would, I mean, you talking about, like I said, that's, when I turn it over to Dale and them, they can get into more detail. But they've done all, I mean, we got maps showing exactly where every mile, within a mile radius of every well, every house. We've done a whole lot of geological stuff already on this piece of property. And it's like I said, it's, to me, it's going to go somewhere. If not Hickman County, and I mean, I'm a resident. I got, my son's buried in this county, my mother, and I got Mountain Cemetery. And 2012, we tried to get a regional landfill at Lewis and Perry County, but location for the interstate was not appropriate. And that joins my farm, and both tributaries that run through my farm would have been the stormwater, all the water run off at. And like I said, I know the trash business, and I'm not a bit concerned. I wish that you got behind me because it stopped poachers from coming deer hunting. But anyway, with that said, like I said, I think it's revenue as far as it would solve the county's whole lot of revenue, and there's going to be enough buffer around there that the noise and the smell. We're just doing a presentation. There's nothing being voted on tonight.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you very much. Our second thing I forgot to say is that someone mentioned to me that there's going to be many votes, many public hearings. These folks, you know, this solid waste has nothing to do with this. We do not vote on this. These folks did not have to be here tonight. The normal procedure is you go to the planning commission, you put in an application, and you go from there. So this is an informational meeting to where you all know just as much as we do. So I mean, it's not anybody against anybody or the comments. Just like so we can all can learn.
We're
just
just trying to inform them as well.
Thank you.
We don't want to hear.
Huh?
We're trying to inform them as well, and we don't want to hear.
Did you sign up?
I didn't.
Okay, then I'm trying to tell you, I don't. We can't have any more comments. Okay? Don't have to ask anybody to leave. All right, but now I want to ask, like the gentleman up that's going to give us the presentation.
I don't care what people think. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, county commission. And I know I'm not supposed to address the residents out here. I can feel you looking at me with hatred, so let's go and get it out in front. I am not here to make enemies. I am here to be informative. Marty came to us with an idea about 3 or 4 years ago. And for 3 or 4 years we've looked and we've searched and we've tried to come up with ideas. One of the big things that Marty wanted to get rid of is what do y'all pay now for y'all's solid waste fee a year? What is it? How much? $90 per hour. And that $90 really, does it really cover your budget?
It's tight, yeah.
Yeah, it's tight. It's tight. And I heard you talking about making cuts to give up other things to have certain things. What we're looking at with the landfill It's not, you keep saying a dump, but it's not a dump, it's a landfill. That's right, a dump is what we had when I was growing up, where everybody threw all their tires and garbage and everything, then you set it on fire. That was a dump. That's the way I grew up in Hickman County. And listen, I'm gonna tell you, Hickman County means a lot to me, because Vicky and Ed Coggle were my best friends for 40+ years. I was in and out of Hickman and Hornwall and all these different places. Centerville, Miss South Paint still got a shop in Centerville, Tennessee. Good friends with those guys. We traveled together, we traveled the country together, we worked together. So Hickman County means a lot to me. And it's good to see all you turn out here and express your opinion. At the end of the day, what we're looking for and what we came up with is a revenue stream. And the revenue stream that we're talking about is a host fee that will eliminate your $90+ and it's going to go up. It's absolutely going to go up. And landfill shrink, the cost to be competitive, they're going to be able to double what you're paying now in other places. Yes, ma'am, they're going to double. It's going to double. And you just wait and see. And if you could take and look at what we're proposing down the road, you have plenty of time to talk about it. We're looking at being able over the next 40 years to generate $203 million for this county. That's a lot of money in my opinion. That's a lot of money. And it can be done in a fashion that it doesn't affect anything. It can be, the state of Tennessee does not allow you to put in a dump. The state of Tennessee regulates this. All of wastewater comes off of any kind of facility that has waste, MSW waste in it, goes into containers, storage tanks. Then they're transported in by tanks to Nashville or to Memphis, where they're treated in those facilities. They are set up to treat it. Dyersburg used to take it. I don't think they take it anymore. They used to, but now, and Memphis begs for it to come there. So what has happened over the years, reason landfills and stuff got bad names, is that people let them put stuff in there they shouldn't put in there. Somebody asked a question about lithium. No, you can't put lithium in an MSW landfill. If you do, somebody's going to jail. Somebody's going to jail. That's just a fact. If you get caught dumping your garbage out in a gully somewhere, you're going to get fined. And it's a good possibility. We've had some people that I know of that was doing that, setting it on fire, did it for a few years, but they got caught. And they're in jail right now. So the point being is that you have a unique opportunity. The state would be glad to fund any road improvements, any widening of roads, to help manifest this to y'all's advantage. And I know y'all don't think I'm telling you the truth, but I'm just telling you what is there. I'm telling you what's there. And I'm looking at the revenue. Marty did exactly what I'm doing exactly what he asked us to do. To show you a revenue stream. And that's it. And it can be managed. And if somebody else come up and says, maybe we need it, but don't need to be here. Then what I would love is for somebody to tell me where it could go. Tell me a place here that's good, that's close to the interstate. Because we'll look at it. We'll spend the money. We'll look at it. I'm spending the money right now. I'm spending the money right now looking at doing all that. This didn't, we had to do our due diligence before we could even talk about this properly. And we're still doing it. And until we get to the application processes, that's kind of where we are. And Jason, you want anything I missed?
No, and so the concept is that it's not just a landfill. I know that's what everybody's here for, but really this is an industrial park. This is an industrial development to start the process. I'm sorry, you may not think it is, but it is. So the European model is to try to basically coordinate these facilities such that recycling, the landfills, and other industry that needs the methane that comes off the landfills all are in the same location. So they can synergize with each other so that you're not end up transporting materials from one side of the county or one side of the state, that you could cluster those together in one industrial park and are able to make those all come together. And that's really what this is about, is trying to bring an industrial facility here that will have multiple different job opportunities on recycling and other industries that want to have, you know, disposals nearby. They're having trouble trying to find that disposal and they're long haul trucking it. And those will bring the jobs in, and the landfill is a component of that. And as Dale indicated, from there, the ask was how do we get from the industrial park to a revenue stream besides just changing agricultural property to industrial on a tax base. And, you know, that regional approach to bringing, you know, materials and recycling them and then landfilling the residuals from it is what gives Hickman County the ability to get that long-term, you know, growth on dollars, you know, coming in that are not off a tax base. You know, I understand everybody here doesn't want in their backyard. I get that. But at the same time, we're still looking at, you know, what are the available properties left in Middle Tennessee to solve these problems. And, you know, finding properties, there are 1,000+ acres, you know, in size that you can put the landfill in the dead center of, that then has, you know, huge buffers around it so that you can't even hardly see it. There are few and far, you know, between, and you have to get a couple of counties out or 3 counties out from major metropolitan centers to do it. And in this case, we're looking at Hickman County because of you know, basically Marty coming to us and saying, hey, there's a need here and there's available land. We're trying to find the best, you know, best way possible. Why do we look at that side of the county? 1, yes, it's near the interstate, but 2, it's also at the end of the Piney and end of the Duck before it goes in. So we're not, you know, we're not affecting water sources, you know, so you're not drinking that particular water. It's not coming through that. But there's not anything coming out of these, you know, as the crowd can state, there are multiple different liner systems that go into these facilities, multiple. There's not been a leakage from one of those facilities, you know, that were permitted after the Solid Waste Act in '92. There's not been a leakage from any of those ever. So as we move forward and kind of continue moving this process, we're looking to try to help, you know, develop a, you know, overall master plan for that area that will bring growth to the county and provide a revenue source. And, you know, and yes, unfortunately it has a landfill component to it, but that's where the current revenue source is for growth right now.
And when you look at your maps, and you look at the you look at the pads, don't really look at the, you got a C&D landfill, which is destruction and demolition. Everybody needs one of those. That's gonna bring industry in itself in the recycling mode of it. Then you're gonna have, when you're looking at your map, you look at the different, like 5 different industrial pads for businesses to come in and sit there and to make their lot to work into that. It's also 3 different tracts of about 10 acres each, about 30 acres for a solar farm to go back into TVA. There's a pad here for a TVA generator system, so when you start, you can go with it, you start getting the garbage, the methane gas can go up, run that generator, and send it right back to TVA, and county gets the revenue off that too. That's just small portions of it. And there's a lot to look at, and I know it's a lot to think about, and you know, these people that's come up here and ask and talk, you know, I would love to have them on my team, because that's the kind of people that ask questions, and the people that ask questions are the people that needs to be on your committee to help digest this and try to figure out what's the best thing for this county to generate a revenue stream. And this is one of them, and I would love to, at any point in time, I'd be glad to sit down and talk to anybody.
Well, thank you. I think the main thing I wanted to hear for is for all the commissioners to be able to say.
That's right.
Really like to ask, you know, any kind of commissioners have any questions or anything initial to them that you'd like to ask these guys?
You were mentioning about other locations that you're exploring. Are there any other counties in Middle Tennessee that you're thinking about? And I mean, seriously thinking about. Are there any neighboring counties?
We've looked at some, but none of them fit the bill like Hickman does. No, it's not cheaper here. No, it's not cheap. Not what we're having to give on this property. It's not cheaper.
Can you just take us through maybe top 3 bullet points outside of Marty reaching out to you 3 or 4 years ago,
That's
now
right.
putting us on your radar?
That's right.
Outside of that, can you just kind of enumerate bullet point 1, 2, 3, top 3 things that make Hickman the #1 site for you?
Yeah, access to the interstate, being in a rural area, and having a way to have employees to work. All those 3. That's right. What am I missing?
When you say employees, you mean there's a viable workforce here, you think?
I think it's just like Field of Dreams, you build it and they'll come.
I am.
Well, I mean, I'm not on solid waste, and so if there's, members of, I've got a few questions, but if there's members of that, then, I mean, I'll wait and then.
We got 15 minutes, so if anybody solid waste, a question?
Okay, and it's the landfill, all this. I mean, I don't know much about it, so, just forgive my ignorance. One of the questions that I had was about how many trucks a day will be coming to the landfill. I don't have a clue about what's the traffic rate, and I assume it'll be the semi-type like what we send to Benton County. I mean, that's.
Similar, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, similar type, so, at its full height, it'd probably be about 240 trucks a day.
And then
we're not going to help conduct meetings so people can. We're not going to help finish the meeting for people, we've got limited time. Please, I can't even treat you at all. Okay, thank you.
where other places have y'all built landfills? Like what's the, I mean, is there, I mean, it's kind of like having a reference on, I mean, what others have y'all built, and what's probably the closest one that y'all have done?
We've got a customer in Humphrey County that we've been doing their landfill since 2006, opening and closing sales and fixing it, and they've never had a right from the state, have never had any water get out of it, and there's been excellent working relationship with that customer. Randy over here, Drake, you want to tell how many you built?
Probably 50, and I probably built from Johnson City, Tennessee to Memphis, Tennessee. I probably built 15. I built Lewisburg. I built Tullahoma. I built Decatur. I can't even remember them all right now. Me and Marty was in the landfill business before they even started leachate collection and line. The Solid Waste Management Act of '91. When you did just dig a hole and dump it and set it on fire so it made more room and got rid of the rats. But they don't do that no more. But that's what everybody thinks. But they don't do that anymore.
And I should ask this again. I did not catch, I couldn't hear, I didn't catch the name of your company.
Barron Hill Ventures.
Barron Hill?
Yes, Ventures.
Ventures. Okay. And then I saw where the life of the landfill is 27 years?
No, that's one phase.
Okay, 43 then?
Yeah, I can answer that for you. So, yeah, so the initial area, we're looking at about 27 year lifespan for the MSW. There's also a C&D component we didn't put on there.
Right, what is the what's MSW?
Municipal solid waste. So it's what most people call class 1.
Okay.
Yeah, class 1 waste. From there, we also looked at, what would be the maximum possible on the property, and that's the second number.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first number is, well, is 250 acres, and the second number is 400 acres. That was showing on the map.
All right. And then what is done at the end? What's the process? I mean, it's.
Yeah, what do you do with it after 30 years? Yeah, so they go through post-closure care. They have a 30 or 50 year lifespan on that post-closure care period. So it operates for whatever period of time, and then there's money put away, during the whole process to, basically maintain it for 30 to 50 years underneath TDEX guidance. Okay. And then it goes into custodial care. They then go to like an annual as opposed to quarterly inspection process and post-closure. So it continues on from there. There's a fund that's put away. Typically now, most of these are going into solar farms or some other recreational type activity because it is just a giant, it ends up looking like a giant mound. Okay. And so we'll end up putting solar farms on top. They'll end up doing green space on the top. We'll do biking trails, that kind of thing.
Golf, I think golf facilities.
There's been golf facilities.
I didn't know what the limitations were on, after it's covered,
Well, here's the other thing, well, you gotta have a bond, right?
Correct.
The state's not gonna let you do any of this without having a bond.
So I think we got Marty.
They called an answer to that. Our class one out there was closed in 96. So it looked just like that part out there, it's got the white pipes that we got. It's a closed class one municipal landfill, household trash. So it'd be the same thing we got on Skyview Drive out there by the airport and golf cart. When it's complete, that's what it'll look like. It'll be a soda, I mean, there's a lot of landfills, but soda farms and MLEC right now is looking for land to put solar farms on because they get more grants if they get up to 5% solar power. So there's 30 acres on this industrial park. We've also looked at solar farms on, sell back, or their way to list to get more grants to help get electricity in the county also. But it looked just like if you go out on Skyview Drive right now.
That helps, yeah.
Yeah, if you go out there and look at that hill past where you dump the construction stuff. Right
Yeah,
now,
I know what you're talking about.
That's what exactly what it looks like when it's closed.
Thank you, I got Devin's got.
Would it be possible for each presenter to say your name? I'm a little deaf, so I didn't catch the two gentlemen who spoke and the gentleman over there.
Yep, yeah, we'll give them to you. Right now, we got Devin Pickard, who's the county commissioner, who's got a question.
So I think we send 2 trucks a day to Camden to dump. So if this were to happen, I assume that we'd be coming here.
Yes,
How much would we be charged for that?
The lowest tipping fee that is out there is what the county would be charged. So what they would do, whoever's running the landfill, they go put it out, they go take people, it's gonna be based on the quantity that they're gonna bring in. The more quantity, the cheaper it's gonna be. Jordan knows this. But then you're gonna have somebody maybe have a huge amount that's gonna be coming in, wants to bring in. They're gonna get the lowest price. And whatever that lowest price is what this county would get. Yes, sir. You won't ever pay any more than the low, that.
Regardless of how much we.
No matter, no matter.
Okay, I got Dusty Jordan now. County commissioner has a question.
I think somebody has mentioned it, but if this occurs, once it is finished and ready to use, that will be leased to somebody like Waste Management.
Something similar, I'm gonna say
Steve Janakis.
Yeah, I have a question. You've got some industrial pad sites here, so what type of utilities would have to be ran to these facilities or this facility overall? I see a TVA substation, the solar farms, I mean, there's 10 acres, there's 30 acres, that's not really gonna produce a whole lot of energy at all. We're doing one in East Hickman right now,
yeah.
or that's potentially gonna happen in East Hickman, so.
Right.
So I know.
I'm familiar with that, but it's gonna be a good one.
It is, yeah, there's about 70 acres there,
Yeah.
but they're gonna put up probably about 50 acres or so.
The reason it's 30 acres there, because what you do is you cap, as you close, you can't leave it open, you have to be in a continually closing. As you close, you can start adding back to that solar farm. You can end up with 200 or 300 acres if you want it.
Right. But what type of utilities? I guess.
So it'll depend on who comes in, but probably like 5 kVA, so, not large.
Well, that's just electric, but there's other utilities, so
Right.
water, sewer, what are we talking about?
Right, yeah, so sewer would end up, sewer would depend on the activity that's, which one comes in, but, planned off the bat would be recycling facilities, which would just be the staff on site, so we're not talking heavy water usage, there's some other companies that are looking at doing, I'll just say they make countertops. They're not a heavy water user, but they do need the landfill nearby because they have, what they call overs, they have a residual granite product that needs to.
They need a C&D landfill close by.
Yeah.
So typically these industrial, I mean, they're not really, a true industrial, like we're looking for somebody that's coming out. They're actually gonna take maybe some recycling and things like that from the landfill to help, like.
Yeah, they would do that, plus, there'd be sawmills, that kind of thing. Something that's, has a low water usage. I mean, there's a 6-inch raw water line out there, or water line out there now, but something that meets that existing water usage out there.
What about sewer?
And the sewer would be, something that can handle. So we'll probably have a small regional system for those entities, so that, can handle like 100, personnel or more, and then do a drip field irrigation system, where we do a drip system out, on one of the fields.
Thank you.
Probably in conjunction with the solar farms.
Becky?
I noticed the owner is Tennessee Forest Land. So is your group going to purchase that to construct it? Okay.
Is it for sale?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Is that the main attraction to this piece of property?
Is the main attraction to that piece of property?
You settled on this piece of property because it's for sale or because that's where the landfill is?
Because that's where the landfill goes. Marty knows more about the land than we do. And I had to let him guide us on that. And he has worked with the people that own Tennessee Forestry for how many years?
They own 80,000 acres, 80,000 acres in the county.
It's over 80,000 acres.
The first time they ever sold any of it, that's the only tract they would use. And it met all the criteria, because Jason.
Proximity to the interstate, proximity to state highways.
We have looked all over Hickman, of course, Lewis County is too far from any interstate system. And Hickman County is one of the best locations that, it's got close to access I-40, one of the major interstates, goes through Tennessee, or the major interstate. And all the ground and the way the land lays and all the criteria of kind of municipal. This is household trash and C&D like we're running right now for toward the phone. Out there, took us 3 years to get expansion, just 1.7 acres of the state. But the state also realizes, Tennessee's got to have somewhere to put the trash, so that's our.
All right, thank you. And to answer this lady's question back here, what you want to do to give your name so she knows who's speaking. That's Danny Clark. And could you two gentlemen please state your names again so everybody knows who you are?
Dale Smith.
And
Jason Repture.
And that's Marty Tuberville.
And Randy Drake.
No Marty.
Yeah.
And you're
Randy Drake.
Randy Drake.
And the name of the company again?
Barron Hills Ventures.
Can we get a picture of the proposed site?
I'm sure it's going to be available soon. I'm sure that, I'm sure you'll make sure in Hickman County Times maybe. They're wanting the site location and stuff to be publicized.
They gave me 7 minutes.
He's got it, so I'm sure it'll be available soon. Hopefully maybe even Hickman County clerk site we can get it up soon. So we'll try to get it out to everybody.
Question?
No, we can't. Anybody else got any questions?
Jason, Commissioner.
So I might be able to, help with like procedure from here if it was to go forward, so that they actually have a little bit of that information if somebody wants that one. So this is just a preliminary meeting, just to kind of get, everybody understanding what we were, looking at doing, getting feedback. There's 3 processes from here. There is zoning. So planning and zoning is, to go from, basically residential / agricultural to industrial. There's also the regional, board, which is these folks, again, they will actually have to also hear it officially in the future. And then there's a Jackson Law, since this county does have Jackson Law, there's a Jackson Law meeting, which is another public opportunity. So there's 2 public opportunities, one on the zoning, one on Jackson Law, and that's just to allow us to even begin the process to talk to the state to try to go through the process of investigating the site to put a landfill in. So it's a very long process. We're talking about a 5-year plus window. Once these 2, if they did go forward and went on, then the state has their review period looking at technical data, and then they would say they were issuing a draft permit, and then there would be another public hearing at that time. So there's three public hearings, lots of opportunities to hear stuff. So, this process is not something that, you're going to get blindsided by and not hear about it. There's lots of different opportunities out there. So just like this one, there was no blindsiding on any part. They made sure that Dave was out there so it could be heard. And there's multiple additional meetings coming up after this so that it could be out there and get in the paper. So, all right. So
Jordan, do you have anything you want to add? Any other county commissioners have any more questions?
I do one more, just to comment on what the gentleman just said. There will be multiple public hearings where you folks will have more opportunity to talk, but we do have and ask questions and get those questions answered by the ones that have the answers. And it's like Wiley started out, we're streaming live. We don't intend to spring anything on you. It's got to be, we're elected by you folks,
and we've gotta work for you, so, we're just asking everybody to be patient and help us go through the process, and, don't anybody bring any guns or knives or pitchforks or anything like that, because most everybody up here's already got, I'm sorry.
Is it possible to change the format where we can ask questions at the end so we know what we're asking?
All right, so does anybody, any county commissioners got any more questions?
So if you were to get yeses from here through, it takes how long to get that bill? You say 5 years?
Yeah, it'll be at least a 5-year process.
Now, the C and D can be done quicker. The construction and demolition, it don't take near the hoop you have to jump through for the state as it does the MSW. The reason MSW takes so much because all these things that you've heard, horror stories, and just this room tonight, and I can give you a whole nother list of horror stories that the state has had to eat, literally eat, because people they let get back. Now they do. It's done. So that's the reason you got to go. You got a manual that's what? A check off. Quite thick.
Extensive.
Yeah, very extensive.
EPA controls that.
Yeah, the EPA gets involved with it too.
Well, there was a question in the back about questions after you hear it. Did you ask that, Kate?
Who asked it?
Or somebody did. I heard it coming back there.
Oh, yeah, I think.
State law requires that we, at a meeting, at a committee meeting or a board meeting, that the public comments coming right after the approval of the agenda, which we did tonight. And it is public comments, there's no back and forth. Those are gonna be coming. So, you know, Wally stated that, I think, right up front. But I wanna make clear that we don't mind questions. It's just, and the way it had to happen was state law. And, you know.
Right, so the way it happened was, we had comment period before anybody even had a chance to hear. So next time you come to the meeting, you'll have gotten a lot of information that we all have. Then you'll be able to, hey, now I got questions, I really know a little bit what's happening. Now I know the questions to ask. So that's why, I mean, but it's state law, comment period has to come first. So that's just, you know, we don't have any leeway in that. So anybody else got anything, other questions for these gentlemen, or any comments whatsoever?
Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn, second. You got it. Public safety starts 30 seconds ago. So thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it.
You can borrow.
Show me exactly what, in my office in there, how many layers and all that. They go the first batch of gas in there. They don't want to lie, then they permitted landfills in 91, last one laid to the rig. Yeah, EW, I got a problem on that EW, yes, they're in Canada, they're taking all salt, they did that, I wasn't new for it. I brought her in, that's South Central Development, she works on the phone. She didn't understand.
I'm going right here. You know, Brooke showed me,
This is my brain, man. That's where all the feet. Oh my goodness. Yeah, of course, that's the
Can y'all go outside in the hallway to talk? We're gonna have to start the public safety meeting. The sheriff getting anxious to ask for more money.
I love rumors.
that's huge. That's huge. Y'all need some chairs over there, don't you?
Yeah, they all piling up on your table.
Oh, Ricky, how you doing, Ricky? Good. I need a
Everything out front, open.
It won't be.
Oh, yes.
You need an extension cord, don't you?
What I think. We're gonna be out of, I mean, some kind of $90 from them. It's gonna be 5 years.
I did. That's what I wanted to hear.
That's great.
What did you say? Get out of here before it's starts.
You can't hear me with the cocktail costume. Right?
T-shirts. I was like, never You can't close it.
Danny,
You can't close those.
Danny, you can't close it.
You can't close those.
You can't close it. No,
No,
gotta be open.
gotta leave them open.
Ain't locked. You can't lock them.
You gotta leave them open.
He's always.
Huh? That's making it close to me, you gotta leave the doors open.
They are. Oh, no.
You can't get in there. You got Brad Martin?
Hey, Robert, could you open the door?
Just open one door. Open one door.
That's all you need, one door open.
Going private, we choose being a private.
You have an agenda?
On my phone.
You got a copy? I don't. I gave him my only. I know, but who sent it?
Somewhere else.
No one else did.
Oh, shoot, that was all right.
No, meeting agendas.
What do you expect? You just make that anyway.
Gonna call, it's 20 after 6, so I'm gonna call the 6 o'clock, public safety meeting to order. If Beth will call the roll.
All right, we ready? Dan Clark.
Here.
Michael Ray Thomason. Wally McNair.
Here.
Dusty Jordan.
Here.
Keith Nash. Devin Picker.
Here.
Matthew Barnhill.
Here.
Ricky Murray.
Here.
Steve Janakis.
Here.
Carl Moore.
Here.
Roland Mayberry.
Here.
Juan Calicott.
Excited to be here.
Tom Collins. Clay Chesser. Hey. So 11 present, 3 absent.
She sent it out on. We'll send it on Wednesday at 9:16 a.m.
I make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Who made the motion?
Matthew made the motion. Seconded by Ron Mayberry.
Got Robert.
I looked at it earlier.
All those in favor of the agenda as it is presented, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we're to public comment period. Does anyone want to comment on the public safety meeting? Don't see anybody. Now we're at the adoption of the minutes of last month's meeting.
Make a motion.
They were emailed.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Minutes.
Motion made by Giannakis, seconded by Mr. Mayberry. All those in favor of approving the minutes say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we're to monthly reports of the department heads. Okay. I'd like to switch these. The captain of the rescue squad's got a rescue squad meeting. Can we do the old business? You wanna do this, Jim?
Yeah, I can.
This is on the rescue squad.
Yeah, this pertains to the rescue squad. Chief McMean's back there, also Pete Tibbs is gonna be involved in this conversation a little bit. The county owns 2 particular buildings that, the rescue squad occupies. The first one's down here off of,
128 Bridge Street.
128 Bridge Street, thank you. The county actually owns half of that building. In order for the squad to do anything, if they want to build onto it or whatnot, they would have to come before the county commission to ask permission to build onto it. I don't see us in the fire business right now, so I would like this body to move on to the regular county commission that we would relinquish our part and go ahead and put it all in the rescue squad's name to get it out of the county's name. The other entity is the station in Pleasantville. The rescue squad, Chief McMean again got with me, he wanted to relinquish the building back to the county. We talked about it several days. And I called Commissioner Clark on it because he's the chairman of this board. We talked about it. What I would like to see done is they're no longer occupying a county building. So I would like to relinquish that building to Chief Tibbs and the Pleasantville Volunteer Fire Department. That will decrease, his response times from what he's having to go to now. He's out, well, you know where he's at now. He would be downtown, I guess, Peeville. So that was kind of the motion that I want to bring towards the county commission.
I guess it would help if we had a motion from this committee to take the full legislative body to do it. The motion I'd like to hear is that Pleasantville Fire Department gets the building in Pleasantville, Rescue Squad gets the building at
128 Brick Street.
no conditions, no clawbacks.
So moved.
They're their buildings.
Second.
I mean, y'all, it's theirs.
That's the motion?
Yes.
Ron?
Yes.
Second.
Motion by Mayberry, seconded by Pickard. Probably will do a roll call on this one.
And this is just to send it to full commission, right?
Yes.
Is it as is, like, there's nothing?
As is where he is, no conditions, no clawback.
I just spent $25,000 on it.
Oh, yeah, I just didn't want to, things can
I'm
happen.
not asking the county for nothing,
I got you.
on it.
Danny Clark,
Yes.
Mike Coyne's absent, Wally McNair.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yes.
Keith Nash. What'd you say, Dusty?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
right.
Keith Nash. Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Steve Janakis.
Yes.
Carl Moore.
Yes.
Ron Mayberry.
Yes.
Paul Calcott.
Yes.
Todd and Clay are absent, so 10 yes, no, 4 absent.
I guess Chief Tibbs is okay with that, right?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you.
David, you still, when I talked to the county attorney about doing the deed work, you want one deed to come out of this if that's
If at all
possible?
possible, because it's 2 deeds now, and it'd be better if it was 1 deed, if at all possible. Yes.
I think they can handle that.
Mr. Clark, are we still doing the same thing with the Pleasantville Fire Department? Just putting a deed over to them?
Yeah.
If county commission votes for it?
Well, the property at
128
Brick Street.
is on 2 deeds right now.
It's on
When I
2
spoke
deeds.
with David the other day, while we're doing this, go ahead and
Clean it up.
we'll do it all, and there's just 1 deed over there.
Got it.
So, any other questions for me? I'm gonna stop over here. My dad got carried by ambulance to Murray before I got here, so. Thank you.
Thank you. Jim, since we're in old business, go ahead and do the McCord Ball Field.
Okay, view from McCord Sports Complex. I spoke to Mr. Taylor. Some of you know, actually all of you should know by now that the creek is wearing the bank out. It's doing a number on it. It's probably about 15, 17 feet away from the main concession stand building that was built down there. I talked to Mr. Taylor, who helps the highway department on the side of the flooding part of the roads. He told me that it was gonna be, he would help me get all the TDEC permits that I need to be in compliant with Army Corps of Engineers and TDEC to make sure we're doing things kosher, that I can hire somebody to do it. And his recollection is it's gonna be around $25,000 to fix it. That is to keep it from eroding away anymore towards the building itself and the batting cages that are down there. I think Mr. Clark was down there, he was down there with me one day and looked at it, so, it's eroding away. And if we don't do something now, we're gonna be in deep trouble.
I don't think it'll do another 3 years.
3 years?
We'll lose the concession stand if we don't get it.
Yeah, that's Greg Taylor at NRCS. Yes.
Yeah, he's USDA on his card.
Yes, yes. All right. Did he bring up, the cost share that is available, if there is any available?
No, sir, he did not.
Okay.
Not to me, he did.
Okay.
We talked about, how we could approach it to fix it as a county.
Sure.
You know, I did have architects look at it, engineers, you know, they wanted to charge us $90,000 just to do a plan. It wasn't even to fix the dang thing. So, here we are.
Okay, did he say that what the TDEC, will require the work to be engineered by a certain class of engineer?
He did give me an engineer.
Okay.
Actually, I asked him about this man, Donnie Arnold, and I have not I've tried to contact him today, I couldn't get a hold of him. Because I knew I was coming here to talk to you guys about this today. We went over the price, he said according to him, it's probably to Mr. Taylor, it's gonna be about $25,000. That's to fix everything. He's not gonna charge me for helping me get the TDEC fees, or the TDEC, what do you call it?
Compliance.
Compliance for, yeah. He said that he would draw up a little plan, wouldn't charge us anything, but draw up a little plan to, pass the TDEC so we could get the permit to go ahead and do it.
Okay.
But he did not speak to that.
Alright, so the reason why I'm asking these is we've just finished one on our farm on the Duck River. Duck River is different. TVA's involved in that one and all kinds of things, but there is federal money, it's a cost share for stream bank restoration.
Okay.
And that money comes from the topsoil washing into the main tributaries, getting to the Mississippi, and all of that's where the federal money is set aside for that. And like the grant that I got was through NRCS. And now mine, actually, it was on our Humphreys County side of our property, and so it went through Wayne Coates, who is the NRCS director for Humphreys County. But it'll be the same as, and it's, now it's not a 100% because the cost of rock usually goes up, because once you get approved for the project, they set a dollar amount and they have the fee or whatever it should cost, but usually costs go up by the time you get all the permits. But yes, they do help you get TDEC permits and all that. Because I don't think that TDEC will let us touch that stream, because it is a blue line stream. I don't think they'll let us touch that until it is engineered. But if you could use the NRCS and get the funding for NRCS, it will greatly offset. Because I'd venture to say that if he said it's gonna cost $25,000, the funding probably be in the $20,000 range. Now, the problem is that the government takes forever. And when I started mine to when we just completed it was a 4-year span. But that we had to go through Corps of Engineers, TVA, TWRA had to sign off all those things, the Duck River and all the species that are protected and all that. This will probably be quicker. But I would go back, and I don't mind. I've worked with Greg on a lot of different NRCS projects, and I have to go through land use plans with them for our farm and make sure wetlands compliance, all of that stuff. I don't mind talking to him, to try to get some help on that. But the only question that I have is, I know there's funding for people who privately own the property. I don't know how that works when it comes to government, but if he's been helping the highway department, then I would say that it shouldn't be a problem.
Well, the county owns that park.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is that if he's helped, if it's been cost share with the highway department, then I think that it has been, then it should not be a problem. Because if we can get some help on that.
Absolutely.
So, and try to start it as soon as possible on those grants and all that. But sometimes they need a little bit of encouragement to get going on things, so.
Yes, sir. I would appreciate the help, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions on Mill Creek? I got one more thing, Danny, if that's okay. Down here at Toomey Ballpark, it is a county-owned park, however, it is in the city. They wish to build ADA compliant restrooms on the end of where the batting cages are, between the ball fields and the concession stand right there. I talked to our building codes guy today. He did say that they could build bathrooms in a flood zone. Technically, they're on the line. All I have to do is sign some paperwork with the city to make it happen. They have their own, it's not gonna cost the county anything. They have their own sponsors, their own people gonna build it. And as long as it's within codes, is what I told the man, then we're okay. Because our building inspector, or the city building inspector in this case, would have to go, which actually they can relinquish it to our building inspector. We talked about that today too. So if she does that, we'll still have a say-so on the way the building's built. You know, to make sure it's safe for everybody to be in it, because they do want to put it upstairs so they can see all the ball fields. Run the scoreboards and a place for the umpires to dress. They're looking at a state tournament coming, somewhere in August. July, okay, July. So they're gonna move fairly quick once they get the okay. So I just needed to let you know about that, that I can just go sign the paperwork because it's not gonna cost us anything. Any questions? Thank you.
That puts us over to the department head part of this party. You wanna go first, Robert? You got anything?
I don't have anything rather than backing up the mayor. I was backed up Ms. Blasted and her decision, because that's her jurisdiction. And all she needs is a signature from a county official on the building permit, and she'll issue it with no cost. And I thought that was, because when I built my office, they didn't do that. We didn't pay for it. But that's kind of been our policy with government things, not to charge. I do think the aggregate service tax needs to go to a vote to the county commission to not have to be paid on that bill. Because $1,500 go a long way in helping them build their building. But I think Ms. Blasted can handle it. It's definitely gonna be out of flood zone by the time they put 8 to 9 feet of block underneath their announcement stage above it, and you can put restrooms in flood stage, because it's not a living, it's not a permanent public restrooms. It's not a living.
Emergency management have anything tonight?
I should have received our information in the packet. The only thing is that the rescue squad received their grant for this year, and they were kind enough and offered to purchase myself a new set of gear, since I'm part of the membership for squads. So that's gonna save us roughly $3,200 to $3,700. That does not have to come out of our gear, funds, because currently right now I'm using my gear for conferencing. Because it's expensive to purchase turnout gear. So I fought fire with them, so they offered it up, so I said, absolutely, I'll take it. So we're very grateful. We're still trucking along. 2 of the vehicles I've already sold on Gov Deals. We've already shipped them off to their that. Our third one on our hazmat truck, the big old Mac, we have a buyer for it. However, we've had some back and forth, so we're still waiting to see if he's still gonna purchase that. So hopefully we should know that next today, tomorrow, if he's gonna go ahead and finalize for it. So that is all we have for today.
Thank you. You're sitting on the front row, Alan. You go now.
Okay. In my report, you have our financial numbers. If you have any questions, be glad to answer. Otherwise, we can take a vote on those.
Need a motion to approve the ambulance services finances.
Second.
Motion by Dusty, seconded by Calvert.
Okay, roll call. Kenny Clark.
Yes.
McNair.
Yes.
Rusty Jordan. Yes. Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Steve Janakis.
Yes.
Carl Moore.
Yes.
Ron Mayberry.
Yes.
Paul Callicott.
Yes.
10, 4 absent.
We have 2 write-off requests And both of those are also in the report. First one was a 78-year-old male that was transported back in 21. There was a billing issue, and he's just kind of getting a bill on it. He's not able to pay it. All that's in the report as well. If you'd like to take a vote on that.
There are two?
There are two. Two of them. You want to put them together?
Yes.
Okay, so the other one's also in the report. It's an $1,100 balance.
I need a motion on the.
I'll make a motion to approve write-offs.
Motion by Dusty, seconded by Giannakis.
Danny,
Yes.
Wally,
Yes.
Dusty,
Yes.
Devin,
Yes.
Matthew,
Yes.
Ricky,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Carla,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Claude,
Yes.
10 yes, 4 absent, motion carries.
The only other thing I have that would require your vote is, we had talked about this last month, but Crystal wanted me to bring it back for a vote. The B part of this, and I know you've all had time to look at it, and that is involving training our EMRs up to an EMT level, just like I said, a couple of years. And this is kind of a recruitment tool for us. Hopefully in the future we'll be able to hire these people. Training people up to an EMT and AMT level who are currently volunteering and providing service for the county.
You need a vote on that?
She asked for a vote on that one part.
We need a motion to.
I'd like to make a motion to do that. Is that what you're asking?
No, one of these guys will have to make the motion, but I'm unclear on what we're voting on.
So in the B part, what we're doing is we're spending county money, EMS money on training up firefighters to an EMT level, and so we're hoping that they'll be future employees for us. Also, they can work part-time for us when we need help. And so that's the purpose of this, is to recruit new employees.
I'll make that motion. That's what it is.
Do you understand the motion?
Yes.
Devin makes that motion.
Okay.
Second? Barnhill seconds it. And since we're spending money.
Roll call.
All right, I got more discussion.
Okay.
I got some discussion, I got some questions. All right, how is this different from our conversation last month?
Same conversation.
Same one?
Same one.
Okay, but you just said just using firefighters, is that what you said, or?
So we're using EMRs who are currently firefighters.
Okay.
So they've already been through that part of the program. We can train them up to EMT, then AMT, and we're only talking about maybe 2 a year.
Okay.
Just kind of see how this works out.
Right.
But we're to a point where we need employees. We've got a lot of folks about to retire.
Sure.
And so we need to start.
And forgive me, I do not have my notes from last month. What is the cost usually of the?
So we're talking about $1,500 each.
Okay.
To bring them up to each level.
And the issue has been that we're paying and they're not following through with their contract.
It's been a time-honored tradition through EMS. We've always trained up our people.
Yeah.
We've had 2 that I can recall that has not, out of dozens and dozens. And the 2 that we've had issues with were not folks from the county, got metro money and left. So they got job offers from other places. Well, one got a job offer from Metro, the other went to another.
And how are we trying to recoup that money when they?
So if they can work for us part-time, that helps us out a whole lot.
No, I'm saying like the 2 problems that we've had. And that may not be the majority of the cases.
It's in the hands of the attorney.
Okay.
So he's, and that goes through the finance office. So they're following up on that.
And so the motion on the floor is to pay it up front like we've been doing.
Yes.
Okay.
For the EMRs, they're already trained to an EMR to go, to get
And
their
we're only
EMT.
talking about 2 a year. I mean, we're not sending everybody.
Okay.
We've already had a second.
And this is already, money's already in my budget that I've already planned to spend. So it's nothing, we're not adding to the budget or anything, so.
Any further discussion? You may call the roll.
Okay. Danny Clark.
Yes.
Wally McNair.
Yes.
Dusty Jordan.
Yeah.
Devin Pickard.
Yes.
Matthew Barnhill.
Yes.
Ricky Murray.
Yes.
Steve Janakis.
Yes.
Carl Moore.
Yes.
Ron Mayberry.
Yes.
Paul Calacanis.
Yes.
So 10 yes, 4 absent.
That all?
That's all I have. Everything else is in my notes.
Well, I want to thank the maintenance director for all the spring cleaning he's been doing. I noticed it. I rode around the Harville building, the light poles painted and all the bushes tore out and everything. I appreciate it. Have you got anything you need to report on?
Very little. In my notes, I had put, in miscellaneous notes about an ADA ramp at the senior center. That was supposed to have been built over the weekend. It being Easter weekend, the guy that was gonna build it, his plans fell through doing it then, so it didn't get done, but it's in the works. It should be done by the end of the week. We had a water leak here at the Justice Center, last month or so. And the water bill that had just had part of it from last month and part was the current, but it was $16,380. County Center will work with us to knock it down to $3,669 today. Of course, that was fixed, but it was leaking, I forget what was it, 670,000 gallons a month. And besides what's in my notes, that's really all I have. I do want to point out, it's in my notes, but the Harville building, it's looking more like it's gonna be the end of the month before we get it finished. We're kind of tied up right now, doing the floor covering at EMS Station 1. We're moving furniture around back and forth.
Is that it? Okay, what's it gonna cost?
You'll make it in, you go sorry I was late getting, our information out because, been kind of busy. We did get a few state inmates out, but we are still running 131 inmates today. Next month, next week, I think there's gonna be a bill coming through, looking to pull 20,000 out of the drug fund to buy some additional vehicles. We had one wrecked over the weekend, and we're actually good. Everyone has a vehicle now, but we have no spares. Like I said, we tried to do what we can with the money we had, adding 6 employees with adding vehicles and equipment and everything. We're not having to try to bother y'all add any money to us, so we've done pretty good. So we'd be asking for that next week. Also this week, we put $13,700 in the drug fund from vehicle sales. We're, this month was up on calls a little bit, was up to 865 calls for service this month. We're working on 2 grants right now, that should be for tasers, in-car cameras, and hopefully vehicles as well. Vehicles is one thing we're struggling on. Some stuff we have is pretty high mileage and it's kind of wore out, so we're making progress. So with the inmates, like I said, we've got rid of a few inmates. So from December to February, we get paid monthly by the state for housing state inmates. So for those 3 months, the state reimbursed us $70,000, $69,905. Yeah, $69,905. That's what we get back from the state. It's averaging anywhere from like I said, those 3 months is 19 to 25,000 per month, so somewhere about 22,000 a month is what we average to bring that back. We're working with the state right now to redo our state contract. So with that, and I think, Mr. Cowtalk was talking about this, is if we have that contract with the state, then we're getting $41 an inmate right now. We'll move that to $53 an inmate. And the only thing pretty much required of us is just a few things, but one of them is that we have beds for 10 state inmates. Well, with that, we're always gonna have 10 state inmates. If anyone that sits over 1129 is a state inmate, one thing the state does is they want the people that's got the longest sentences first, and the people that are problems for us or have medical issues, that's who we try to put the front of the line. So those people that may be a state inmate but have 2 years to serve, most of them they're gonna be spent with us because the state's not gonna take them. Like I said, the people that's gonna be there for a lot longer. So, we'll always have those inmates, so I think this is a good idea for us to do, so we get a little bit more money, per inmate, and then also, it lowers the deductible on their health insurance. So where ours is, $15,000, as soon as this contract is signed, this covers all medication, all dental, anything to do, let's say they have to go to the hospital, and their deductible is $1,000. So anything, if it goes over $1,000, the state pays it 100%. So I think it'd be very beneficial for us. But, that's all I got. Anybody have any questions?
You don't need any action on that contract with the state?
No, sir, we're still working on that. Try to get all the details finalized.
Just curious, how often do you renegotiate that contract?
So, I believe this is the first time, that's been looked at in about 8 years. Before, I guess they had a contract, it expired, it was never renewed, and we just been running on the state minimum, which is the $41 a day, so.
Great opportunity. Thank you.
Do you have something, Becky?
I do. Well, I want to get into MOU in a second, but I wanted to speak for HHS because I really get to have their information provided, but I want to let y'all know in the last couple of months, there's been 9 cases of animal cruelty and neglect that they've worked with the sheriff. There's been 3 hoarding cases and 4 arrests made. To speak for them, I feel like they're still being overwhelmed by animal control problems in our county, but because they've got other rescues that are helping and Jason and his staff are helping, the burden isn't as overwhelming, but the shelter is still certainly needed. MOU will be signed on Wednesday. We're meeting with the mayor. I just got it today for us to review the final before we met with him. Joint committee. I just want to understand the process. I believe that it goes through nominating. Are you still in charge of nominating? When will the nominating committee meet?
When does that have to come? I'm not sure it has to go to nominating, does it?
Hey, what?
Does it have to go to nominating, or can we just on to the next legislative body?
That needs to go to the nominate, a regular process, go to the nominate committee, like Becky said.
Okay, so
And, if you got 3 volunteers that want to raise their hand right now, let's save time.
Right.
For the building?
For the
MOU Joint Advisory Committee that was asked of us to include that in the
There's
MOU.
3 members from Shelter Friends and 3 members from County Commission, according to the MOU. If you
And Dusty raised his hand. Didn't you raise your hand? Did you raise your hand?
No, I didn't raise my hand. I'm sitting on my hand. I'm on that.
Clay's not here, and we're pretty sure he'd want to be on that. I mean, so how do we manage that?
There we go.
Todd ain't here either, is he?
But
So
he may be
let's
there
wait.
for nominate committee.
You can have it 10 minutes before the main meeting,
Yeah.
have a nominated.
No, that's what, we'll take care of the nominating that way.
Okay.
Usually before full court.
Right.
Right
It
before.
wasn't on the calendar, so I didn't.
Right.
It's usually before the regular county commission meeting or before this one. I could remember. what it said.
It's before the full court.
Yeah.
Could you let the chairman of the nominating committee know the 3 names that y'all are gonna put
Sure,
forward?
we can do that.
And we'll try to do the same by then on the other 3.
And then, so I don't miss a meeting or a step. In September, when the 550 was earmarked, the comment that was made that it needed to go through budget committee. I don't know if Crystal's still here. Is that still true?
No, there's been no budget amendment to move actually, that's ARPA money, isn't it? We can do that by resolution. It's in it. I'm almost positive that we can do that by resolution.
I think we already did that, didn't we?
That's what I was thinking. I think so, it's earmarked already.
Still has to go through the budget.
It's still gonna go through the budget process, but it's earmarked already.
So would Shelter Friends need to bring that up next week at budget, or can we just ask that that be included on the agenda? I don't wanna tell y'all how to do your business.
Since I'm the
but I
chairman
don't-
of the budget,
I
I
don't
would
wanna
invite you
miss
to
a
go talk to Crystal and ask her.
Okay,
Once it's signed, and she can direct you
okay.
probably better.
I just didn't wanna miss a step and keep.
Just have one of those
pushing.
3 that's on that committee to bring it up at budget, that's what I would do.
Okay.
I'll see you Wednesday.
Okay.
Do we have any old business? I'm looking for that magical motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.